Alright, we should now be live. Hello everyone and welcome to today's live stream. I know this is an odd day for me to be doing this, but Blender 4.3 is now out. I'll be going over a little bit of the new features in 4.3, and I'll be doing a bit of sculpting as you can see here. I was doing a little bit last night and I was like, wow, this is actually fun. Due to some updates in Blender 4.3, sculpting is now faster by quite a degree. So I'm going to go and do a bit of that, because that is fun. But let's go and take a look at some of the GeoNode changes, because this is, you know, mainly a GeoNode channel at this point. Everything's geometry nodes these days. And in 4.3, we have quite a few new nodes and some big hitters. So, I've gone over this a few times before, but we have the for each element zone. This one allows for us to do operations for each point, face, instance, all those fun things, and it works very, very well. I'm very happy about that. We have the set geometry name node, the warning node. Well, this allows you to name geometry or instances. The warning node allows you to tell a user, hey, you're using this incorrectly or something's wrong, in the modifier or node group, which is very useful. Some utility nodes, the matrix determinant, which, to be honest, I don't know what that is. But, yeah, good stuff. The hash value node, that'll be very useful, because you can put in any value and it'll give you a random hash from that, which will help greatly with some spatial stuff, which I've been testing, but it's not ready yet. Integer math. This one, many people have been excited for, because before, we would only have float math, which means that with float point precision errors, you can get some annoying errors when trying to do precise effects, which is, hey, now we have it. It's really good. The gizmos, you've seen these a couple of times before, where you can rotate, transform, and, you know, just move stuff. Those are all very useful. I will recommend you look at some of my previous streams where I go over those in detail, or better yet, Blender put out a video going over all the new things in Blender 4.3, and in there, Harry Blends had a segment where he went over all of the new changes in Blender 4.3. Very well produced, way better than I could do, so I would highly recommend checking that out, but I'll just give a brief overview. Grease Pencil is now geometry nodes compatible, which means that you can create Grease Pencil with GeoNodes and convert them back and forth, and all that is very good. Quite a few curve nodes also just support non-converted Grease Pencil. I'm not sure which ones, but that is good. So yeah, lots of cool new stuff. And oh, also my personal favorite, just because I deal with named attributes quite often, you now get like double the space to put your named attributes in. So before, if you had like a longer name than this, it would get cut off, but now you just have so much space, which I am extremely grateful for, and we can see that that was added to other nodes as well, which is great. Before, when you would have like velocity, normals, and all that stuff, it would get cut off, and then you would go and make the node bigger, which previously, the name would take up either 60 or 40, I forget what percent. It would take up 60 or 40% of this area, so the bigger you would make it, it would only get 40%, so here it would be sliced like there. So now we just get so much space, and it is lovely. I love it. But that's the main geometry node changes. There are many more changes, which I do have the changelog. If you would want me to go over that, let me know. But, oh, and by the way, I'll just showcase this. This is from a previous live stream, or previous effect, but here's a gravity sim using the for each loop, where in this case, this is an expensive way of doing it. The devs are working on, you know, adding actual stuff like this in the future, but this is using the n-squared method where every single point references every other point in order to make somewhat accurate gravity. To a degree, I'm still doing some stuff wrong, I am sure. But it turns out very, very well, and we can just do some things that just weren't possible before. Now, you could probably, I'm pretty sure you could make this kind of gravity sim using the duplicate elements node to do that kind of effect, but now it's much simpler. Like a plexus effect is a lot easier, and yeah, but new effects are doable with the for each loop, which I am very excited to be able to use in future assets, which now that I've got a bit more time on my hands, I may be making some new stuff soon. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's go back to sculpting. Again, I'll read the chat in just a second. But yeah. How long have you been sculpting? I am not a professional or hobbyist sculptor. Maybe like 3-4 years ago, I had like a series where I would sculpt like robots and stuff, and that was very, very fun. Or just make like little sculpts. But in Blender, I felt like I was always hindered by the performance. You couldn't have too high poly meshes because it would be very difficult to work with. ZBrush is very nice because, you know, you can do like 50 million polygons. I don't know how they did it, but that stuff runs so well. But, you know, ZBrush has some drawbacks with, it's quirky. ZBrush is very quirky. But also there's the subscription, which I dislike managing subscriptions and stuff like that. So I do like it when Blender gets an upgrade. And in Blender 4.3, we have an 8 times speed up in some cases with sculpting, with brush evaluations. So actually, let me get the changelog up here before we get to actually sculpting. But there's a lot of cool stuff, like, those of you who use USDs, that got some more compatibility, which I'm always happy about. Getting stuff in and out of Blender is always, well, in the past was a point of frustration for me, particularly with Alembics, so seeing USDs getting upgrades is very nice, because it's always, that's a good alternative. Okay, so, main thing, I'm looking at the changelog right now, you'll see that there is an asset shelf. So now, well, in previous versions of Blender, all the brushes would be here, which, you know, it was okay, but the icons were a bit small, and all of the data would be in each blend file, so if you made a change in one area, it would not carry over to the next. Now, all of the data is an asset, so it's kind of a part of every single blend file, so if you add in a brush, it will be in there for every single one, which means that if you do make changes to your brushes, you will need to save them, just for that to happen. I'm unsure if there is local ones, but I have not played around with it too much, as we can see here. And yeah, sorry. 1 second. Let's see, brush evaluation is 8 times faster, going into sculpt mode is now 5 times faster. So if before you could only deal with 1 million polygons, you'll now be able to deal with 8 million polygons, or 2 million polygons to 16 million polygons. I'm honestly, I don't know, I haven't stress tested this. Right now, this is an object with 6 levels of subdivision equaling 6,500,000 polygons, so this is what the mesh looked like before. This is it after my little... Oh, that still takes a little while because it is subdividing. But as we can see, like, the detail that you can get... Now, I will admit, I did use texture brushes to make it look like it's a lot more detailed than it is. You know, that's the cheap way of doing it, but I need to get better at sculpting. Okay. Also, can you share what your contribution to that movie was? I would particularly like to know if you used Blender, particularly with geonodes. Also, how proficient are you with Houdini? I'll be able to answer part of that question. I'm still in the beginning to moderate stages of Houdini. Like, the knowledge from geometry nodes transfers over very easily, and I can use Houdini to do a couple of things, but I am not in depth in Houdini, mainly just because since geonodes is my main, it comes up the most in most of my work. I haven't been incentivized to use Houdini a lot of the time. I wish I did, because it is a very powerful program. It is the industry standard, and it has basically all features. But I haven't made it my main yet, and we'll see in the future if I get a job that centers around Houdini. I would enjoy learning it in depth, but at the moment, I'm still mid. But yes, cool stuff has happened, and I am looking forward to when you get to see it. Alright, so, I guess enough dawdling when it comes to this part right here. I forget when I added face sets to this mesh. I don't think I did. Is this from the Vertex groups? When was this? Yeah, when did I add... This arm is from a previous mesh that I retopologized, and I do not remember putting in the face sets. And the way that I got the face sets to not appear, was that just to... Ah, here we go. So I'll disable that for the time being. But yeah, with this model, I was just playing around with the brushes. It's not, you know, the best. My sculpts, especially when I had to deal with a lower poly count, it all turned out very blobby, which you can definitely see in here. But now that we have tons of polygons, like look at this, tons, so many I don't even think you can see them on YouTube. Actually, I could turn that on with the overlays. Here we go, look at that. That is high detail. But with all that, we can do a lot. I haven't tried dynamic topology yet. But with that, I was just like, oh, let me just add in some, I guess, internal gears, those would be, and then some nice ornamental stuff. When I posted this, someone asked if this was related to Arcane with Victor's hand, and I would say no. It definitely inspired to a degree, both Victor's arm and Savika's arm. But Victor's hand, or arm and hand in particular, is much more like purple, corrupted, like muscle and tendons and stuff like that, with some metallic bits in between, which looks very elegant and very cool. I would like to do that eventually. But this is much more mechanical. And then with Savika's arm, it's, well, depending on which arm you choose, she has I guess not quite clockwork, but much more mechanical joints. Which this one, it has some of that, but not quite. So it's a mixture. And also, since I only really sculpt from one angle in this case, it doesn't have it all the way around, because, yeah. But anyway, today I wanted to do a bit more sculpting, like add some stuff to the arm part here, which I have some ideas, but I'm not sure. We'll see what, when we do that. It's a kind of denoising when you move and rotate, probably YouTube compression. In this case, because I'm using the multi-resolution modifier, let me check the noise here. If the music is too loud, please let me know, because it feels just a tad too loud on my end, and I need to make sure I speak into the mic. Whoops. Here, let me move. Whoops. Let me move the mic in between my two monitors. That blocks chat. But yeah, with the multi-res modifier, when you move, it lowers the resolution to speed things up. And I forget, ZBrush does that sometimes, right? It's been a long time since I've used ZBrush. Let's just go and do some stuff. So here I was thinking, and right now I am using a drawing tablet. In the past I would just, use my mouse because that was, you know, what I had at the time. But drawing tablet is just a bit easier. I'm wondering if I should go down on the subdivision levels. Let's go and do, because it's feeling a little bit more laggy, which may just be because I am streaming. But when I say a little bit more laggy, I mean like I can just feel the slightest vibe of that. So what kind of cool shapes can we bring into this? What I do like is the kind of under-over kind of shapes. So when we do that, we get... Oh, I misaligned it. And I will say, I have not converted completely, or since I haven't sculpted a lot in the past year, or barely at all, I'm not used to using these parts over here, like going to a completely cursor or stylus-based workflow for all that. So at the moment, I'm using a mixture of placing my hand on my mouse and trying to get the middle mouse button for a lot of the directional movement on the camera, and then using shift and then mouse button to move around like that. Might not be the best idea. Like my stylus. It doesn't have a screen on it. So on my desk right here, I currently have my desk in a maybe 7, 8 inch tablet that's just, you know, black because it's just where it is. And then the drawing area, I think, is like maybe 5 or 6 inches. So I have that down there, and then there's my, you know, big monitor, and that's like that. I'm wondering for this part here, should I try the kind of muscle, trying to have a muscle here and then connect that to a, like, rod in the middle there to make it, you know, look super nice and mechanical? Or, and then connect that to a hinge with a nice big screw on it. We'll see. And then maybe turn this into, yeah, something like that. Nice shape, but it is also kind of like an elbow pad. Like that, maybe I should shape that a bit differently. Again, with me being very inexperienced with sculpting, relatively, I keep forgetting if I should use, like, the crease brush. I wonder if someone made the Damien standard brush in Blender. Probably. That. Go and do that, and then a bit of that. Nah, I'm not feeling that. I'm gonna be doing this very loose. Just because. And we can see that undo. In here, it causes the asset icons to refresh, which is kind of funny. I think we'll use clay strips just to build the volume as the flipped normals, people would say. I'm thinking maybe have the muscle attached to this rod, maybe to have some nice asymmetry, because, you know, not everything has to be super symmetrical and accurate to regular human topology, but I do want a kind of bicep. Then here, maybe we can have, I don't know. Yesterday, I did this in complete silence, so narrating my entire process is a little bit different to what I usually do. Like, sometimes I'll have music on. Well, that's usually when I'm working. But sometimes I just like the nice, quiet, I don't know. The nice and quiet work. Makes it kind of meditative and thoughtful. And for here, how are we gonna do this? We're just gonna do that and then make that a kind of bolt. And then there, we can make these parts a bit deeper. Now, making this symmetrical will be a pain in the buttocks. So I want that to be like that and then make, you know, actually being able to see the internal mechanisms. That'll be cool. And then here, I'm thinking I could try to make this like a kind of gear. Ooh, I'm actually okay with that. And then maybe we'll do a bit of additive stuff, and we'll put this right here as a kind of like attachment point when you would unscrew it or something along those lines. Something along those lines. And then we can just add in some shapes. Like, this is what I really miss when doing 3D stuff, like the geometry node stuff. The music is lower, but you messed up your mic audio. Uh-oh. I am sorry about that. That's what I get for not reading chats. Is everything good still? Oh, that's what I did wrong. One of the rubber bands, or not rubber bands, when you have a microphone, like I have a Fifine microphone, it is suspended, oh wow, a few of those came out, by some elastic bands in a kind of, I don't know, hexagon pattern. It's very cool. But the downside is when you move it, sometimes those come off, making it not as good. So I hope it's better now. I hope that wasn't too bad. But yes. Let's just add in a few shapes over here. And then we can, I don't want to put the details in yet because I haven't done the other side. So here, let's just go and mark where the other side would be. That would be like the centerpiece, I think. Let's go into there. Oh, right, because the mesh is so high density, I literally cannot see. What's over there? Maybe I could use the ghost mode that I barely use. Ah, yes, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And then we can go in and make sure that's subtractive, and then do just a little overlay and try to make that actually circular. You can see that I'm doing very small strokes, and that's just because, you know, I'm using... Here we go, let's try to make that a little bit better. And how do I do it on that side? Right, that part is a lot more in, like that. This is gonna look warbly and not great, but I am just having fun. And that is what matters when you're doing art, you know? Because with geometry nodes, all that stuff is fun, but it feels more like I'm trying to get a machine, or I'm trying to make the math bend to my will. Which is rewarding, but sometimes can be a little bit frustrating, especially when your job relies on it. I've had quite a few times where I've been frustrated at the math not doing what I want, and every once in a while it's good to just not have to deal with the math, just relaxing, which sculpting and 2D drawing is very nice. But the problem is, I am not as good as I would like to be at 2D art and sculpting. Like, I feel like I'm okay at sculpting, like not good just because I haven't practiced enough. There we go, let's do a little bit of that, a little bit of this. And do a little bit of that, just so that we get the basic shape there. So now that we have these two, how do we deal with this in-between space? Oh, wait, I can do this. You can also use facets to isolate different areas. Yes, yes. I am not used to doing that, so I will need to. On this side, we can have that part curve over to there, and then on this side, we can have this part curve over to here. Do I want this to be like that? It does look cool, so if it looks cool, I am going to keep it. Then right here with the muscle part, I think... Here. On a side note, because this is obviously very Arcane inspired, Arcane is absolutely amazing. I would highly recommend watching it. But knowing the Blender community, all of you already have. It's like, oh, you watched Spider-Verse? Oh yeah. Totally changed my how I viewed art and stuff like that. See, that one goes boom boom. And here, wait, let me make this. Man, it is much more difficult to do this when you are narrating. Because it feels like a part of my brain is just being occupied. And yeah, I am not used to that. It's a bit harder to concentrate, as you can clearly tell. But I hope this is at least fun to watch. So with the design, we can do that. Let's just go and move fast. Because, oh, we're at 23. Oh, that's not the worst. So here, what do we do here? I could borrow from Savika's arm and then put a kind of circular object there, which feels very natural, very nice. Or... I could, I don't know, what do we do here? Because I didn't draw a design for this, which, well, I guess I kind of am drawing right now. Let's add in some nice big shapes to kind of break it up from the usual stuff. We can do, ooh, that's looking very strong. Maybe a bit too strong compared to the more delicate parts right there. Because, lest I forget, yeah, let's do, since we're dealing with like more negative shapes, especially with the wrist part right there, let's go and add in some negative parts right here. Just really hack into there so that we can really see the more internal workings of the shape. And right here, like this will not make any actual sense. I'm just like around, like we could do, ooh, I'm a fan of that. Let's see. Oh, and that could, you know those kinds of screws that are Am I liking that? Okay, maybe the other way around, but we'll see. Maybe we should make this additive now, but I'm liking this shape. Kind of, okay, this would go to like where the quote-unquote bone is, even though, you know, this does not have bone. Let's see. Let's do this. Because with sculpting, you know, I could just be like, oh, let's just add in the impression of a wire or something like, ooh, I am liking that. It being kind of dug out like that, and then we can see all that. Yes. It'll be interesting to see how different I sound doing this compared to geonodes, because I probably sound a bit more relaxed. Let's see. We still have 24 people here, so I guess you're finding this interesting. Which is nice. I know this is more... Actually, which is more niche? Geonodes or sculpting in Blender? I don't know. Okay, that is an interesting shape. But it does kind of cut off the muscle, so maybe I'll build the muscle back up. In terms of the brushes, which I have not gone over, there are a lot of cool ones. And a few of these deal with multi-res, so let's take a look at all of them. Oh, I do want to paint a bit, which we do have the paint brushes here. But we will get to that in a little bit. So let's switch this back to additive to work on a bit more of the design. So I want this part to happen. Yes, I am liking that. A nice metallic, like the bent metal is something I am a big fan of. You know, and I guess some arcane spoilers, you know, general stuff. I've seen Act 2, but Victor's kind of aesthetic, the more refined aesthetic that you see later on. I do really like that. Which some people mentioned that my fractal kind of looked like some of the hex stuff. Well, I do want to carve... Yes, let's carve out this part. Some of the fractal stuff looked like some hex core stuff. Which, while that was completely unintentional, I can see because it does follow some of those same points. I kind of want to keep this part in here and then make it go down. I don't know. Let's Control Z. You can hear me furiously hitting that key again and again. Would love to see more art streams. Yeah, we'll see how long my sculpting phase lasts, because it could last a week, maybe a month. I'll definitely be doing more geometry nodes, like probably, I don't know, this weekend if I feel motivated. Because the last 3 episodes of Arcane are happening, and I may be just sitting in awe of what they did. Rather than streaming. I've been trying to relax a bit more. I've had to do a lot recently. And now I have some time to just relax and breathe. And it is very, very nice. I'm kind of liking that. Like, I'm just going around making shapes, and then I'll go and make a reason for those shapes later on. Here, I could go and carve a lot into there, because I do really like the kind of... Ooh. Yeah, I do like that. It carves into there a bit much. But if I don't like a certain section, I can just go and say, nope, I'll pass. And then undo the multi-res displacement, which I may do over here to a degree. Because here, I'm wondering. Over here, there is... Which one is that? That's mask, smear, multi-res displacement, but I want the erase multi-res displacement. Over here, if we do this, it will just go and completely erase all of the work that I've done. In some cases, that is needed. Which I'll have to redo a bit of that. But do we want to see, like, the cables going through there? I don't know. I think I can do a more creative solution to that. Like, as we can see here. Maybe we can do a bit of that, just to have that part still connected. We will see. Or maybe I could cut a bit more into there and then do that. But yeah, just making some general arcs and stuff and seeing how that works. And then here, the idea I have for here, what ideas do I have? I'm thinking maybe a little kind of coolant area. So over here we can have like 3 of these, and then maybe make some nice edits to there. No. What would look the best? Interesting. I think making that smaller may work. Right now I have one hand at the stylus and one hand on the mouse, which I really should get used to just moving this part around. But it does feel, since I don't have a touch screen or a screen on my tablet, aiming for there just by eyeballing it will be a bit different. Let's see. What do you think of an archive channel? I can't find some videos I bookmark. I have gone through in recent memory and canned old streams, which I know some people would like for those streams to still be up. Basically, if the stream is not good or not as good as I would like it to be, I usually take it down. Just because, like, there are a lot of old GeoNode streams I've done that are now irrelevant. Like with some of the 3.5 simulation node stuff, some of the 3.6 simulation node stuff. And I did some, you know, spring cleaning. Ooh, yes, no, I like that. I like that a lot. Making it look mechanical, but also organic. Then in here, we could go in and add in some more details. Like here, I will need to space that a bit better, but I'm envisioning to try to very crudely line that up. Like, people who do hard surface sculpting are magicians in my book, because how do you make all this internal stuff, like, actually match, and all the parts not look horribly? I don't know. Oh, look at that. Just, like, 5 minutes spent on this little area, and it already looks nice and complex. Like, even at this stage, I could go and retopologize this area, make it all nice and fancy, actually make it look hard surface, texture it, and it would look amazing. Just having this little bit of a base is so nice. But here, this part is looking a bit lacking, so what do we do here? Oh, wait. That is wrong. Let me go and bonk. Then we can smoothen out this part. Turn with the strength. One thing with some of the brushes in here. Okay, yeah, I think I should go and multi-res erase. What was... Oh! Huh. So that was already raised. Looks like I have to do some reconstructive work here. Make it a lot. Oh, this is going to be terrible. That's why the flatten brush exists. So hopefully I can undo a lot of this pain and suffering that I've put myself into. Let's put the general stuff here. I really like the tabs. Like, this new shelf design is amazing. Let's see. I wonder if hotkeys play. Because in ZBrush they have the hotkeys, which some people, I've seen some people be like, oh, you have to hit so many keys to go there, but I do kind of like that. Because right now I'm trying to find this smooth brush, and, yes, right here. I kind of wish that they had, like, the first, like, letter or two right here as a little part right there. Because for some, maybe this is just me not being used to the new icons, and maybe I'll take a second. Or actually, is there a setting to show the... Ah, you can... There. If you have a question about why isn't this here, tap and see if it actually is. Yes, I think I'll keep that enabled for now. Just cuz. because my visual language, at least right now, is a little... Yeah. Okay. Ooh, yes. I like the extra strength I put onto the flattened brush. We can see in the properties here, you'll see unsaved changes. So whenever you change like the strength and stuff, if you don't set it, it will reset next time you open up the scene. Which on one hand, I'm a little, I will need to, again, I don't sculpt much, but I will need to get somewhat, oh, that's looking a bit painful right there. Let me attempt to fix that. And maybe the crease brush can save me here. What was I talking about? Saving brushes and all that. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oh, another thing that I haven't tested but I am liking is blend files that I've saved with just like a few geometry node things in 4.3 are now much lighter. Like before, the average blend file with not much in it would be like 1.5 megabytes, but now they're like 0.6 megabytes. And I'm assuming that's because the brushes are now just a part, like a separate piece. So instead of them being copied for every single blend file, which, you know, can stack up to a whopping 30 megabytes over a year, it's now just a part of your assets, which is nice. Nope, that's trim, not... Oh, Control-Z, buddy. There we go. I shouldn't spend too much time on this, because this would need a lot of fixing. But right now, just do a bit of that. Yeah, that's... mediocre. Which is what I will settle for at this point. 36 minutes, wow. Time goes by much faster when you're sculpting. Maybe it's because I'm enjoying it. Let's see, what can I do here? What would look cool? Really like a part where... Oh yeah, no, that would look cool. Okay. I'm very interested to see what kind of brushes people make. Because, are texture brushes a thing? I mean, like, brushes where... Like, it has a texture that's not in the actual blend file? Maybe. We'll go and see about that. I'm thinking right here, like, maybe... like a metallic ribbon or something like that. If I were to do that, it would have to be like the kind of crisscross pattern, which I could kind of do, but I think I am liking that. Let's use crease sharp to add in a bit of divots here, and that is being raised instead of divoting. Why did I do that? There we go. Here, there. Now this crease brush, words, Ben, words, is very nice. I have not wrangled it because it often leads to blobby results with my level of experience, as we can see there. Maybe that's just because I don't have the other stuff on, but it leads to some very nice and crisp lines, as we can see there. So I feel like I need to do more right there. Like here, I want to put in a little, like... Actually, I could use the... Which brush? Is it the plateau brush? Maybe I can use... Yes, that's what I wanted. There we go. Now it is... I'm still figuring it out. Let's see, do a bit of that. And just lean that into... Kind of decides to, I'm assuming it's picking, like, maybe the view normal to determine where it's going. We'll see. In trim, I have not played around with that a lot, but that, ooh, that cuts in very well. What if I change that to be... Wait, what? Okay, so that... Does that go... Okay. Oh, it's a maximum. Okay. Okay, I know there's the... Which one is it? Oh, another fun thing. So, I happen to have the unique ability to, and... Oh wait, I need to save this just in case. I have the unique ability of finding a bug within the first day of every single Blender release. Fortunately, in Blender 4.3, it's very stable, so in this case, I only found one very low, semi-low priority bug. If you use the pose brush with the set to squash and stretch, I really don't want to test this out, but just trust me on this one. If you set this to squash and stretch and you use it on a mesh, and move it around a bit, it will cause your mesh to disappear. The positions will be set to NaN, ID, if for those of you who saw the Twitter post I made, and it will be just gone. Undoing will not do anything until you undo out of sculpt mode, which is not great. Let's see. Someone, again, I have not read the chat in a bit. I need to read the chat more. You can enable the names. Yeah, I should. Yeah. Whenever you think, man, Blender should add that. Most likely they have. Let's see. I think if you hold shift while sculpting, you can smooth, and with control, you can go from additive to subtract. Yes. I am trying to use my right hand, like my keyboard, and my right hand less and less, because unfortunately, I have acquired a minor case of carpal tunnel, just to using my mouse a lot, which I need to get a vertical mouse, because apparently those work very well. Which actually, I'm using my hand to press the middle, my right hand to use the middle mouse button, so this will impede. Actually, can I change the size of, here, let me go into preferences real quick. Themes, yes, 3D viewport. Is there a size to the widget? Asset shelf, ooh, nice. Or is that, wait, what is this particular? Oh wait, I don't have Python tooltips enabled. Does anyone know the name of that, and if you can resize it in the editor? Because I think you should be able to. Without scaling the entire UI. Here, let me go and turn on Python tooltip. Oh, the backend. Oh, another thing that I have neglected to mention. Eevee now has a Vulkan backend, which means that they're testing integrating Vulkan into Eevee Next for a potential speed increase. The unfortunate thing is there is no speed increase this time around. They're working on feature parity. So at the moment, it does not increase speed. Oh, I'm actually liking that a bit. But it's an experimental option, which you can test. I am liking that, how it's now cutting in. Yes, and it gives some nice thickness to all that. I do... Ooh, that's looking nice. Yes, yes, yes. We need more of that. More of that. Just to give a nice kind of... Maybe it's a bit too wide over here. It's not quite translating to that part, so let me go and undo a bit of that. Go. Yeah. I will have to test this in Blender 4.2, like this mesh. Because I don't think it was ever this performance. Like a mesh with, I think Sculpt mode previously could handle, like, maybe 10 million? But I'm not sure. Which means that now it would be able to handle, 80 million, which I kind of doubt. That's like ZBrush levels, and ZBrush is running on some sort of proprietary magic. Which I doubt, you know, Blender doesn't have to be as performant as ZBrush, but it is very nice to get speed increases. And as far as I know, the devs are working on some more speed increases, so we'll see. Yeah. And also, Sculpt mode does use the GPU, which I should have guessed, but I just never thought about. Oh, I do kind of like that. Wait, the sense that the kind of muscle part is being bound into there, and then maybe I can make a kind of hook. Not, that sounds a bit gruesome, but like a little, attachment point. So let me just try to bring that in there a little bit. Yeah, that this part, you know, the design is not, like, none of this design is particularly good because I did not think about any of this beforehand. But, you know, just for freestyling, I can't exactly say... Yeah, no, that doesn't look good. Here, I will put a metallic part right above here. So that... There we go. We can do that. Then back here, I can plateau this so that looks more ingrained, which will look very nice and cool. But yeah, Blender 4.3. I am quite happy with the additions. Stability seems to be good. Again, I think I've been looking at the bug tracker since I made a bug report for the previous thing, and apparently the bug with the squash and stretch was a thing since either 4.2 or 3.6, I forget which I did not know, but apparently, oh, tablet unplugged for a second. So apparently I unearthed a very old bug, which from what I've seen can be fixed with just clamping the values so that it doesn't go into infinity, which, you know, is good, and nice. I'll need to rework that, because I'm not the biggest fan of that. Like, this part is still relatively unchanged, which we need to change. I want none of this to be original. I want to ship of Theseus this arm. So here we can do that. Yes. This big carve into there. We can add in some more parts, like maybe some tubes, just to make it look better. But that's what I like. Just sculpting and not giving a care in the world to the topology. Even though this is technically UV mapped, since, which I will need to test. We have 30 people here, wow. 46 minutes, I am happy with that. Let's go and do this, and we can add in, no, let's not make this straight tubes, let's make this cool. Again, following some cool steampunk stuff, which I am quite a fan of the steampunk aesthetic. You know, I think most people are. Arcane is one of the most popular shows in the world right now. So people like steampunk. People like steampunk. Maybe something like that. Like some of the parts go in, some of them don't. Then we use the crease tool to go into here. The crease feels a little bit strong, which is funny to say, because usually they are rather low. I will figure that part out, but just to get a little... Oh wait, those are way too flat. I could use the blob brush. Actually, I think I did use the blob brush there to bump those up a little bit. Like with hard surface sculpting, how do you make things that are spherical with all this? Because that is something I have not figured. I need to look up hard surface sculpting tutorials. I could do that. Not quite feeling that. I'll put in some more details. So with the previous parts of the design that I did yesterday, like we can see the detail difference, which this is a lie. Like you can see the actual detail here; it's all nice and blobby. But the granular detail is from me just using noise and then putting that around. Let's see. Gotta love when YouTube sends the notifications 40 minutes later. Yeah, what can you do? Like, I apologize that... Oh, and this part. I do like this part. I will need to refine that more, because, again, just being like, oh, noise! I was like, yeah, how do the texture brushes work? And I was like, oh, this is great! But it does not work here. I should smoothen out those parts. Let's see. I deactivate the fast viewport options. Yeah, top right. Assuming that's... Oh, wait. Lens, focus distance, There's the object gizmos. I forget, where is... There, yes, there it is. And that, and then delay viewport update. That's interesting. There's a remesh. Yeah, is there a dial for size of the Gizmo here? I have forgotten. I do want that to be bigger. Those UI elements. Because I can scale everything, but I'm not the biggest fan of that, to be honest. I can just go and full on hide that part, which is nice. And then here you also get the asset shelf, so if you don't want to have this enabled. Oh, by the way, another thing that I found out when I was chatting to Curtis Holt with some of the Blender 4.3 stuff, where I found the post brush bug, and then, oh wait, it's not happening anymore. Nice. If you go and scale these up too high, the asset shelf will disappear, and then you need to do some kerfuffling, and then the up button here will reappear. But that probably was me just playing around with that. Though it is funny, now we have an arrow on the left side, the right side, and then the bottom here, which I wonder, there's probably a hotkey for the asset shelf, which I should probably go and find. Okay. Let's see. I should probably be playing some arcane music right now, because that would be very nice. I have a bit of it. Oh, maybe that'll get this copyright striked. Ooh, I am liking that, though. Kind of pivots. Maybe I'll make another one. And another one. I think the first one was the best. And then here, I'm not sure what to do with this. What do we do? Because we could make some nice ornamental designs. It's very ornamental, very nice. Here we can do, or maybe I should be adding instead of subtracting, but maybe a few external, yeah, because this is a demo mesh. It's not like something I'll actually, come on, buddy, work with me here. Oh, unplugged again. Come on, buddy, you're working. I have unfortunately injured my tablet, where the port of it, I accidentally unplugged it with great force. Accidentally. I was walking away from my computer, and I accidentally tripped over the cable. Classic rookie mistake. But now, if I move my tablet too much, it disconnects. Which I'm using that as an incentive to get a new tablet, because I am far beyond the point where I should get a new one. My current one was like 40, actually, is a Huion tablet that I got for like $40 like 3-4 years ago. So it is time for an upgrade. Maybe one with a screen. Or maybe... Nah, I'm not a fan of... Or that could work. But no, I'm thinking... Okay, one thing I really like, which you kind of see over here, even though I kind of chickened out with the design a little bit, is having the kind of tendons going down. Like, we can see a few of them right there, but that's like more for the wrist. Maybe I'll have some tendons for, or the muscles for the fingers going in there. You sculpt too well. Yeah, just whenever I feel like it. Because I feel like there is like the most artistic art, which is just painting on a canvas, whether that be digital or not digital, and then there's, on the other side, retopology, or modeling something, which you have to deal with topology, which is a pain in the you-know-what. And then there's sculpting, where it's like a nice middle ground. It's sculpting. Where you get to draw, but it's a 3D object, you're not locked into the singular view, which, not knocking 2D art, it is amazing. I wish I was significantly... Come on, buddy. I wish I was significantly better, because I see it as, like, the most freeing art. Like, you don't need to... You just give the impressions of the lighting that you want, and just make what you want to, instead of being like, oh, come on, the poly counts! Which, is a common occurrence in 3D art. But sculpting feels very nice and relaxing. It's like, especially in this case, it's like, yeah, no pressure. Will I ever use this in a Twitter or in a post? Which, speaking of that, I am looking to move on from Twitter because the place is unfortunately getting extremely toxic, and my patience with it is getting extremely then I'm looking to go to bluer pastures, if you know what I mean. We'll see if that goes anywhere. Like, on a side note, Threads I did join because I was like, ooh, this is cool, and it has a pre-existing fan base from the Instagram place. But Threads turned fairly toxic and engagement baity very, very quickly. Oh, I will still post on Twitter, because I know people are still there. Like, do I think Twitter will fully die? Probably not. It just has a very big fan base, which, you know, not to talk on current events too much, but if someone goes and buys the place that you like visiting and then screws it up, you kind of start looking for a different place. But the toxicity has gone way up, so I am thinking about joining the other one. Threads turned very toxic very quickly because it seemed like a lot of its algorithm was more engagement baity. Like, it would be a very controversial opinion and such, just to get clicks, and it seemed extremely transparent from a lot of the posts that it was just gauged toward that. So I just stopped using it, and apparently it's not... Maybe it'll take off, so I do still have a presence there. I'm kind of liking that design. Maybe I'll keep that. I'm hoping Blue Sky fares better. I haven't joined it yet, but I have friends that are there, and they say that it is quite nice. So I'm hoping corpo stuff does not screw it over. Let's see. This part does need more details, and I'm thinking, like, here we can expand, we can plateau. This part here, yeah. It's interesting how that happens. I feel like there's a... No, that doesn't... Plateau. I need to play with a lot of these settings because I just haven't. Oh, and there... You know, I haven't played around with Sculpt, so most of this is new to me. But you can, like, set a procedural cavity mask, which is very nice. Let's see. Can we see? Oh, wait. Of course, I switched the brush, and then it disabled. Who would have thought? Here we go. So if you do this, it won't affect the parts with high pointiness, and you can just straight up create a mask, which will show all of those, which is very nice. Hopefully... Yeah, that is very nice. Like, look at that. This arm is actually looking pretty good. It is a bit messy, but I can fix all that. Like, this part, I think I'll make this a bit thicker over here, like at the ends. Yeah, it's looking like, yeah, some parts are looking very jumbled, but I think I could go and fix it. Like, we'll make this look good. Let's see. Let me read up on the chat because I have neglected you once again. Very sorry, chat. As I don't like to rotate the camera and having the object look weird. Yeah, it seems like performance is perfectly fine here, so I'll keep that off. There's some good Human on-screen tablets. If you think you'd ever use it on the go, the iPad Pro is a competitive choice considering softwares which allow you to use it as a tablet with your PC. Yes, I am considering getting an iPad, because, you know, if you want a nice tablet that you can take on the go and draw on, an iPad is the obvious choice. It is built for that kind of stuff. And there are very good sculpting apps on there too. And then using it with Blender is another plus. Another plus. The only downsides with iPads is that, you know, it's no PC. So... Oh, it's a mine. Wait, what? Hello? Plateau? It's only minus... Okay, wait. Is this? Okay. Maybe I want to disable the multi-res because I want to arc the that part over there. What was I talking about? iPad stuff. You don't get all, like, with Windows, you get a lot of control. With an iPad, you get less control, but, you know, getting hacked on an iPad, I've never heard of an iPad, an iPhone, or a Mac getting specifically hacked beyond, like, phishing. Which maybe it's because I don't have a lot of exposure to those. But, yeah. It's a trade-off. I do like the maximum look, but that is not what we need right now. Where the heck is that? There we go. I do want to try out the painting mode. That will be cool. So yeah, I'm thinking something like that where the metal kind of diverges. And kind of branches out a bit. Like that. So we can still have stuff going down there, but we still get something that looks very nice and cool. Ooh, that. I am liking that. Over here, that's being built up, which I am, or it's being taken away. Hey, let's take a look at that. Okay, let me read some more of the chat. Teach us some GN, come on. I have many streams that, do that, so I would refer to those. Today's a relaxing day, as the stream, suggests. I've played with 4.3 quite a bit, so yeah. Not today. I've done a lot of that recently. For the past year, I've done a lot of geometry nodes, and breaks are very nice. Yes. Eventually, like, I will be looking forward to taking a bit of a, I say Blender break very loosely, because I do Blender for my job. It's not like I'm gonna completely let it go. But I do want to go out and touch grass a bit more. So, if I don't stream on some weekends, don't worry about it. It's all good. The content will be there. Like, I have been thinking, oh, should I go and pick up, like, regular tutorials again? I don't see myself as a YouTuber per se, at least in that sense. But more people view the actual tutorials that I put out, so if I want to put out a nice, concise... Those blobs are less than ideal. Nice, concise videos going over some geometry node stuff, it would be much more accessible than surfing through a live stream to see what's around when. Line brush. I am liking that. I'm thinking maybe I can make a crossover there. I'm thinking of making this bigger so that it's... yeah. The parts need to be thicker. Let's go and try a bit of fill. It's not quite working the way I'm hoping for. Wonder... yeah, no, not quite. Maybe the plateau is needed, or maybe I just need to undo the multi-res. It feels like I want it to kind of do a kind of arc right there. Let's see. Had a friend recommend you to me the other day. Glad he did. Hey, word gets around. I'm happy. Let me turn off the cavity part here. Yeah, I mainly do geometry nodes because it's, you know, the most innovative part of Blender. It's been the most useful. It has shot my career into places that I never thought would be. Like, I have done so many cool things I never thought I'd do. Things on my... like, I was like, as a child, I wanted to do this or work on this. And thanks to geometry nodes, I now have, which I'm very happy about. So, I do specialize in that, and it has worked out quite well, professionally and just for hobby stuff. So, there will be more of that in the future. So I'm glad you'll be along for the ride. For as long as you want. Let's see. But yes, I will, in terms of like accessibility, I will still be on, at least posting on Twitter, because it is since I do not have the gift of foresight, I thought Twitter would be a nice stable place, but I was wrong. I was very, very wrong. That is where most of my following is. Like, I don't think I have as many YouTube subs as Twitter followers. Because I find just putting up a post of my work much easier and nicer than having to, like, set up a stream or edit a video. Well, yeah. Oh, I am liking that shape. This part is feeling rather uneven, so I may have to fix a good amount of that. Make sure to rotate your wrist. Be sure to do that. I'm gonna undo a bit of that. Let's see, where's scrape? Scrape fill. And not quite. So let's set it to the fill option. It's like it's almost working. But I think fill deepen is probably the way to go. Again, I don't know how to use these brushes correctly. I'm just like, ooh, what's this? What's this? There's something everywhere. What's this? What's this? I actually need to watch that movie. I really do. Oh, and then there's you. I still need to add more details. Because it is very tempting. What I've learned from flipped normals is that it's very tempting to just go into the details, which I kind of did over here. Like, the shapes aren't as 3D as I would like them to be. Like, they're still fairly flat, and, well, I do like this area. It is fairly nice. But the general shapes, like here, I did not do well. Like, this needs way more interesting parts. And this is like kind of a glove that just kind of goes into nowhere, and I just did not think that part through. Oh, wait, I can fix this. I can fix this. Just by doing this. Now, is this a good way of doing it? I don't know, but that's... Oh yeah, that's feeling significantly better, even though it is looking very blobby. And then right here, maybe this is... no, that part can stay. Those parts having the little knuckles, those... knuckles. Can work. Working on knuckles. Then we can add in a little divide right there. Yeah, I need to find out how to make it not blobby. Nobody likes Mr. Blobby. There we go. I do like that little thing, even though, again, blobby. Then here, this part, I need to, like, consistency when I do, like, these over parts is, I'm quite lacking when that happens. Oh, here we can add in a bit of that, flatten it, and then try to keep that somewhat braided pattern going on. Yeah, that's working okay. And over here, yeah, I'm okay with that part. So I just need to make this part better. Like, yeah, this... Yeah, no, this is breaking the design that I had before, so I think we can go and... Let me save this first. We can go and do that. Engagement on Blue Sky feels way more natural and consistent. Yeah, I hope so. Let's see. Also, I'm not sure how moving to other platforms is going to work with his plan. Wants to rework. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. You can probably assume my political leanings, but these next couple of years are going to be wild and wacky. At least the next two, because, you know, midterms. But, yeah, it's going to be weird and wacky. We'll see. We will see. We will see. Yeah. I'm loving it. Curated a custom feed. You can have very granular control over what you see. That I do like. like on Twitter, I've been getting a lot of Arcane stuff, which I do enjoy. You know, Arcane's great. The art has been fantastic. But yeah, it feels like before, like pre-you-know-who, my feed was very gauged towards what I liked and all that. But then things started to drift where it was like, hey, you'll like the, you know, stuff instead of me searching for it, it would be shown to me. And before, I would not have, I've never blocked, never muted anything. Everything was just working quite well. But after that, I started to have to mute some people, and then I had to mute more people, then I had to mute more and more and more, until I've had to mute, like, people quite often, which is people who I have not tried to follow at all, or topics I've not tried to follow at all. Like, this is worse than when NFTs were a thing. Where's that again? So I am looking for a new abode for my digital stuff. Like, the main reason... Should I fill in this part? I'm feeling like I should. Or at least doing something like that. Something like... I am actually a fan of that. That part's fine. Maybe I can't... You know, maybe I should actually use masks. What a novel idea. Like, maybe I should turn this into a hole like it was before. Like, how does that look? Does that look a lot cleaner and just better? Yeah, it does. Like, maybe I could add in some more negative space, but you really don't want to overdo the, that part, which I very much have. That may work. Let's go and film that. And over here, I'm thinking... Yeah, that could work. Let's see, can't stay by one to say hi. Hey, I probably missed you, but hello and welcome. Let's see. Are these the base brushes in Blender? Yes, they are. Blender 4.3 with the new asset shelf, which I am a big fan of. What did Mr. Blobby do to you? Exist. Like, I am not British, but I follow people who are British, I talk to people who are British, and I have been aware of the existence of Mr. Blobby. Even for, like, the 80s standard, what were they thinking? That creature should not exist. Should not. Like, the color scheme is awful, the sounds it makes are awful. It existing is an offense to me. Anyway. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up Mr. Blobby. Or don't, you know, you're not really missing all too much if you don't. There we go. And now, do we do a bit more of this? I think I'll keep that there. Because I do need to add in more three-dimensionality to this. Like, this part here will wrap into this. So let's go and get the clay strips. Like, you can see I'm very heavily laying into the clay strips for this. And I think, you know, it is... I hear ZBrush people use stuff like this a lot. Blender has some equivalent, like, brush equivalents to ZBrush, if I remember correctly. And then here, and then we could make that travel a bit more. This is... not the best idea. But what I could do is... Huh, that works. Nice. Just do a little do. That it keeps it in place. And then I can add in some nice engravings and all that. Oh yeah, that... quite nice. It speaks to me as a person with mild carpal tunnel, because this part right here, you just feel like you need to stretch it, or like remove it from your body, replace it, make some edits, and then put it back to you. Like, it's not that bad, but it's enough to be annoying, where you're like, okay, use the mouse less, use the mouse less. This one, area. Yeah, that's okay. And that part goes into there, which we can either add it. I think instead of taking away, we can add into it, and there we go. Nice. Like, look at that. In about an hour, we've done some pretty cool stuff. Now, over here still needs a lot of work to make it look good, but you can see the vision. You can see the vision. Like, yeah, this part still needs work. What do we do here? Now, I could just carve into it, but then again, this is not a solid mesh, so this part is fairly limited. Let's see, let's just try some... Ooh, no, that could work. And that connects into there. Could work. Well, I do like this part connecting into a nice circle. I will say I am a fan of that, even though there is no shoulder articulation if I do go this route. Oh, I am zooming out way too far. I apologize. Are rigid biodynamics nodes in 4.4 alpha in an experimental branch, not in main. I highly doubt that the rigid body nodes will be in 4.4 just because they're so experimental and there's so much you need to think about in terms of the logistics. I highly doubt it'll be in there. But in 4.4, I think there may be some dynamic, like collision dynamic nodes. Right now, some of the devs are working on some of that, and I think... Ooh, I do like... Oh, wow. How's that so circular? I didn't even try. Is that the thing? Don't even try, and then you'll get something nice and, circular? No, not quite. Yeah. There's already a 4.4, didn't 3.3 literally just get released? Well, there is always the next version of Blender being worked on. So when Blender 4.3 went into its beta stage, there were no new features, just bug fixes. So when that happened, Blender 4.4 got created. So any new features that devs have been working on have been going into 4.4. So that part is already, it has not many, like from the 4.4 changelog. Ah, my eyes. I went and opened up a white tab instead of the changelog. There is basically nothing. Not much. Geometry nodes just has the limit surface option for the subdivision surface node. Appreciated, but again, they haven't really ramped up production in that part. They're working on a lot of stuff for Eevee, because Eevee is still very much in development. Very much in development. Let's see, I could do this. Like, what aesthetic do I want for this part of the arm? Like, that makes it look like there's muscles, and it would connect to, like, actual muscles, and yada yada. Have you ever thought about how, like, the Winter Soldier arms, and Savika arms, and just robotic arms in general connect to the shoulder? Like, don't think about that in detail, because that's gruesome. How do you make the skin attach correctly? Yes. Are you talking about Mr. Blobby? I inadvertently mentioned Blobby in terms of my sculpting, and I mentioned how I hate Blobby, which does extend to Mr. Blobby. I apologize for all the 5 Mr. Blobby fans out there. But I'm not a fan. Like, that probably traumatized some kids. I was not British, so I did not know about him until I was very much an adult. But it's like, what were they thinking? My god. Like if you have like, sorry, I lost my train of thought. 4.4 alpha had collision dynamics, not yet. But they are working on some like position-based dynamics. So that would be for like, they're looking into getting hair dynamics, which, you know, with the new, what I say new, with the several like 2-year-old hair, 1 or 2-year-old hair curve system. It doesn't have dynamics. You would have to make that in geometry nodes, which I have. Not a good version, but a version. So actual dynamics are needed. So they're looking into making an actual node that will work for, say, particles, hair, ropes, stuff like that. So, yeah, I should probably get rid of this part. Like, I went crazy with the design, and now it's time to go and really reel it back to reality. We're at an hour and 20, so I should probably wrap this up. But there are still a few things I want to do. So here I went and rejoined this part, and I could go and take this part, because this part feels like it needs a redesign. Because this part looks good, like I can make more of the muscles and all that. Keep some of that, but yeah, that feels like that. Yeah, that part needs a rework. And over here, this is just the, like, this is a rough pass. People who do sculpting for a living, like, I really wonder how long it takes for a professional model. Because I've worked, I've seen professional models, and they are very impressive. Very impressive. Could do that, but... yeah, that doesn't feel quite right. This will need some edits. And just as a reminder, this is fully multi-resed on a multi-resed arm. So, yeah, the details are very interesting. Let me go and just put in some basic, like, muscle. Give the impression of muscles here just to see if that helps the feel of it. Go over here. And this part needs to be bigger. Like this, I envision this being like, yeah, much larger, and then I can plan out that area. Here we go. Like, I will need to play around with all the settings for these brushes, because... yeah. So, flattening is working quite well. Looking very nice. There, we can do that, and then I need to just make the edges better. And over here, this part needs to be much more 3D, because it's just barely over the surface. And then I can use the crease sharp brush. Go in and do a little bit of that. Actually make it so that it's embedded into the surface, but then we're getting blobby. Not a big fan. Here we can do a bit of that. Still using the mouse. It is hard to stop. Here we could carve into that. Do a little bit. Yeah, I'm not happy with this part. Because maybe I can make this connect to like a rod there, but I do like the negative space and yada yada. You know, it's just fun. Just fun. And in the end, if you're not working for clients, that's all it needs to be. Fun. That's all it needs to be. And then a little bit like Bob Ross right there. Let's just paint a happy little tree. And I think, yes, we are out of music. Oh dang, I had another Blender 4.3 file open that entire time. What the heck? You want some arcane music? Would that be nice? Because I could play that, but maybe I'll get copyright striked. Let's err on the side of caution because we're at the end of the stream. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot that late in the game. Let's go to Relaxing Zelda. That is a little bit louder, so I'll need to adjust that down. Here we go. Hi there, going to sleep soon, but how do you get those Sculpt brush images below your Blender? Isn't it an add-on? No, it is default in Blender 4.3. I highly recommend updating to Blender 4.3. Please do upgrade to Blender 4.3. 4.2 I used extremely sparingly due to some stability issues. Those of you who watched my 4.2 streams are well aware of some of those. But 4.3 feels much better in terms of that, so I would recommend updating to Blender 4.3. Now, there are still some bugs, like I was looking at the issue tracker and there are some bugs that are appearing, but I think they're all like not too bad. Like with Blender 4.2 is there were quite a few more. But yeah, I would highly recommend upgrading to Blender 4.3. Because it has tons of new stuff, tons of speed increases, like with Sculpt mode. Like, I've been able to sculpt on this and not even give a second thought to how many polygons I'm working with. Because right now, at least for this stage, you know, I don't need to worry about it. I'm probably one subdivision level higher than I should be. I want to make this part a bit more angled. Come on, buddy. Can we flatten that, please, without warping everything? Maybe. Dang it. One wrong stroke. Yeah, that's looking. I am liking that. Need to use this flatten brush a lot more often. The good thing is, once you get good brushes, you can save them. And it'll transfer through all your other blend files. Which in this case, I think some of the brushes are a little bit too soft by default. So giving them an extra kick would be, by default, would be a good idea. Actually, let me check the blend file. Yeah, no, there are now no longer brushes in your blend file because they're all assets. That's why, that's why this would be smaller. View layer. And we could do that. Over here is looking a little bit bad, so let's go and do that. And for over here, we can try, I'm a little bit hesitant with a bit of that, but try to give a nice arc to that. Again, I need to get good at sculpting. I need to get good at two things. One is just the logistics of sculpting in a 3D software, getting used to the brushes, and then the other part is the vision. Like, with 2D art, I struggle with the vision. Like, what is this character or something going to be? How do I get the layout looking right? Colors or something that I highly struggle with. Like grayscale lighting, I'm pretty good at because, you know, with 3D stuff, you really get used to how lighting works and how it should work, and you know what it looks like when lighting does not work the way you want it to. But when it comes to 2D, getting the lighting right, I'm like, oh, should I try doing this in like compositing passes? Like, let me get the diffuse light, the diffuse color, then do all that. Would that probably work? Maybe. I mean, in Klaus, they did stuff like that. Or I would need to double check on that. Yeah. Oh man, I just remembered something. A long time ago, probably over a year or two ago, I got a sponsorship offer from XPen. Which, in hindsight, I probably... Since I wasn't I still don't see myself as a YouTuber, but I didn't take it because I didn't want to make sponsored videos. But then again, nowadays it's like, a free high quality tablet that they want me to show off. That. Tempting, very tempting. XP Pen? Probably. I probably forgot the actual name of the company. Here. It's either X Pen or XP Pen, one of those two. Let's go and do that. This might need work. Oh, this would need, like, this is design 1. Or, again, this is just for fun. I am telling myself that. This is just for fun, don't sweat. Like, this part needs work, like, a lot of work. Like, this just cannot, none of this can articulate, but, you know, you kind of want it to make sense. But that's the beauty of this kind of stuff. It doesn't need to. So, for, like, details, I could follow along with what I did for here, add in some nice, like, runes, but you could barely see them, and then add in some nice noise to make it look like that. But, yeah. Let's add in, yeah, this part just needs some more details. Let's, could do a bit of that. Just in a few seconds, you get so much more detail that would take much, much longer if you had to consider topology and vertices and all that. Just, oh, we'll make this detail. Does it hurt the topology? I don't care. Now, that's a problem for future me. Read topology is a pain, and I never want to do it. Wait a minute, did I save this brush with... Okay, I didn't. Oh, maybe this was saved in the file. Where, Because, yeah, I didn't enable that today, I don't think. I think that was from yesterday. Wait, when did I enable that? I must have accidentally hit a hotkey. Anyway. Lovely day today. I heard in some places in Europe they got snow, which is interesting. Because I found from talking with Mr. Curtis Holt that our weather system, since I'm in Northeast USA, our weather systems are kind of connected from, I forget if it's actually the Gulf Stream or something like that. So I'm surprised that I did not get snow. Because we have not had snow yet, and I am really hoping that we do. Because the weather has been odd, shall we say, where I am. It has been warmer, like it now... It's just barely getting to almost freezing temperatures at night. But it's been warmer than it has been. So I'm hoping we get snow soon. Like, back in October, we would used to get snow. And now it's most, like, we're 2/3 of the way through November? I think exactly, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I normally use Blender just normally. Opinion on installing it through Steam. I know people who do. I personally don't, as I like having I like keeping my dependencies low. Like, I don't want to boot up Steam to use Blender. Like, I want to just directly connect right into Blender and not have to worry about, oh, is there like a Steam update? Oh, it has to boot up with my computer. I just want to use it. Which is, you know, one of the reasons why people like Blender. You don't have to have it connected to the internet at all, or connected to anything, to use it. Like, in terms of, like, ZBrush, Houdini, and stuff like that, all those need to be connected. But they probably do have offline options. But I don't like how connected it is, because that feels like a liability. Like, something may happen where something goes down, or your subscription glitches, or you forgot to refill your subscription. Refill your subscription. Resubscribe. That's the word. Yeah. But I like having as few dependencies as possible. Which may also be a reason why I don't use add-ons all too much. Well, even though with the extensions, the new extensions, I should probably, because now they are much more integrated. And easier to update, easier to carry over. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this elbow part, which is funny because that's what we kind of started with. Anyway, let's build this part up a bit more. The hinges there are supposed to be like the fancy parts, but this is just a mess. So maybe I would redo it. Maybe I should. Just flatten it out and then start again. And then, yeah, that's why I feel like I should do it, especially with, especially with this one. We're at an hour 35. So actually, wait, we'll save that for next time if I work on this again. The main thing was just continue working on this. Like, the quality isn't as good as here, but let's go and, actually, yeah, let's go and try to add in a little bit of that noisy detail. Which I won't keep because, you know, it's just a distraction from the actual surface. But it is a good demonstration of, oh, there are so many polygons that looks like actual texture detail. So we'll add in a new texture, which Blender's, let's change the contrast to be 2, brightness, we can bring that down. Let's see how this works. Okay, it is affecting it, that's good. And then we can set the depth to be, we'll do 6. And the, not what this was. Size, we can maybe set to 0.5. And in the brush settings, let's close out advanced. We'll set this to be random and rake, because I think that leads to more consistent results. I can feel a little bit of lag. Like, not severe lag, but just a fraction of a second delay. That's all that. We could do that to get some... Yeah, make it look like brass, but I think... I probably won't save this part, but we'll see. If we could go in and... Ooh, that does look like metal, doesn't it? Like a rough metal. It's in textured. Yum, yum. Yeah, that looks like a hammered, well, not quite hammered, but a bit of metal. Let's do that, just, you know, put in some fake detail. In actual sculpting, you do use textures and brushes, but in this case, I'm using it to mask over detail that should... Oh, did my tablet disconnect? Something went awry. I'm using it to hide bad details. Making it look like there's more detail when in reality, there isn't. Like here, if I were to use new texture. Oh, why did that take so long? And then we used magic. Let's use some magic. How does this look? Okay, we need to turn down the scale. Oh, wait. So that to be like 5. No, size. Where magic size? Yeah, it's getting late. I'm getting slightly tired. There we go. Look at all that detail. Almost looks like reaction diffusion, which I did try out a reaction diffusion texture that I had on hand. That's cool. Like, I won't be keeping this, but like if this oh, and this is not view dependent. Let's make that scene. Yeah, no, that's how it should be, scene based. But if I had like a fabric texture or something like that, that would be good. Here, now that it's seen, I'll be consistent. If I'm zoomed in, it would work just fine if I zoomed in No, that's spacing distance, not the size. So for the size, radius. So now this is in actual real world units. Now if I do this or zoom, actually wait, can't we make it so that I'll need to look into that because there's definitely a way. There's 3D, view plane, random, and then stencil. I'll need to look into that. But yeah. Okay, now that we have that, let's go and do some painting. There we go. There are the icons. Let me go and just scale this up and then move this down. I really like how this thing moves in one thing increments. Because I highly doubt people would want like half a thing there, but that's just feels nice and official. So here, this will make Sculpt Vertex paint, which is very nice, and it should be very fast now. So if I were to do some stuff, I can paint in some actual colors, which this would take a long time to do. So let's just do a quick demo. Let's try to find a nice brown-ish color. So which parts of this would be made out of wood? I'm thinking like this, I'm thinking, wait, what? It's not supported in multi-resolution mode? I am distraught. No, but it does make perfect sense. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. It doesn't, yeah. Maybe in the future. Okay, well, anyway. That would be for regular texture painting. This is for vertex colors, and maybe... Actually, since this is UV mapped, I can use the brushes. Because I think they're shared between, those and the other texture painting. Well, we'll see. In terms of shading, I do want to try... Yeah, let's use the geometry node tab. I always love the geo node tab for all this. So here we can see that all this is working quite nicely. Let's also use cycles, just so that we can get some automatic stuff going. So here, I need to pick an HDRI. 1 second, everyone. Let's see. Just gonna turn on the Be Right Back screen just in case. Open, yada yada yada. Where are my HDRIs? Where are the good ones? Do textures. Where are... Where did I... Sorry. Oh, there are my HDRIs. Okay. Let's see. Let's try, Leiden Hall Market. 4K. How does this look? Did take a second to load. I will switch back to it being visible once I find a good one. Metro Nord. That's my new favorite HDRI. But no, that one doesn't feel quite right. 1 second. The aerodynamic shop. Yes, this one will probably work out just fine. Too bright. Hamburg, the boiler room. Oh, the boiler room will work. Yes, that's looking quite nice. Okay, here we go again. My brain is off. I can relate. So here, since we're in cycles, let me go and put down my pen. I put down my pen on top of the actual tablet thing. Let's use the pointiness, or wait, the geometry, because here we can get the pointiness map, along with lots of other very nice data. Oh wait, I want to get the pointiness. Takes a hot minute because it's actually calculating that stuff. And then we can use a map range node. There we go. Could I use geometry nodes in order to... Ooh, that's looking nice. Like, most of the details all garbled and all that stuff, but, you know, it still looks good. We can get the some glitches. I'm just gonna assume that that's sculpting stuff that went wrong. I don't have the denoiser enabled. but that's fine. Let's go into here, plug you into there. Ooh, look at that's looking good. If I bake that down, that would be nice. Quite nice indeed. And then if I can go in and texture paint some stuff, which maybe I should show. Let's see. Yeah. Maybe the denoiser is making it look more detailed than it actually is. Okay. Not bad. And maybe I need to switch my denoiser to use optics. Let's look at ambient occlusion, not AOVs. I do love AOVs though. Everyone loves AOVs. And there is that, which we can check the inside. How does that look? Oh, that's interesting. Is that part interesting? Okay. There's only local. Yeah, that's fine. Change the distance, but I don't think that part will be needed. So we could go and make those parts like a nice, I don't know. Let's see. But yeah, with these two, we can do a good amount. We'll try out something. So here I'll use, oh no, my quick favorites. Yeah, let's use mix color. We will mix between maybe a nice silvery hue and then maybe a nice dark brown. Let's see, and let's go in. Yeah, no, this would need actual texture work in order to look good. But, you know, for this, not quick, but this test, it's okay. I want this to look almost... Is royal the right word? I want it to look like someone fancy could wear this arm. Yeah, no, I can see that. Like, I would just need to paint in some masks for different parts to be black instead of the copper, like 1/4, you know, the different materials. Yeah, and then I would need to fix that area, deepen that part, and I think, like, I am liking the detail levels on this side. Like, look at that. It does, like, this part is the part I'm least happy about, and this part can use some straightening and extra details. But that's looking good in my humble opinion. Yep. And then if we want some micro textures, we do have a UV map at our disposal. Because again, this is all multi-res. So we have that from before. And I could use a noise texture or Voronoi. Let's try a Voronoi, because I want to put that into a normal map. The normal map, and then we... it's lagging because it's having to recalculate the pointiness. So here, we can go and really crank this up. Maybe like 2,000. Because I want this to be kind of glitter-like. Or not glitter, but yeah, kind of like this. Kind of... Frosted's not the right word. Oop, I accidentally put in some more. Just to give it a little sparkle, which with the denoiser is a little... So let's take a look at it in Eevee. Eevee Next. Eevee Next. So this is... I'm still very mixed on Eevee Next, because it needs some work. Because right now, yes, this is blurry. I'm not sure if you can tell on stream, but here, if I turn on the default settings, this is like 4 times blurred with the normal map edits, which shouldn't be the case. But if you turn off temporal accumulation and bilateral filter, it now looks a little bit more like Eevee Legacy. And we're not getting the edge masks, which I am not concerned about. Let's just go and turn this into a nice hue. But yeah. And this, yeah, that, I really need to fix that part. Let's go back into Cycles land. Why'd that take a while? Oh, because the normal map is computing the tangents for this. Or maybe it's calculating that, even though it's disconnected. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, this part needs to be more ornate, which I can do fairly easily. Just getting some shapes. And yeah, I am liking this quite a bit. Ooh, what if I... Let's see. Mixing between these is a little less than what I would like. Do like that quite a bit. But what if we had some glowy stuff happening? Maybe some purple. Why is that having issues? Why is that being so slow? Uh-oh. Oh, this seems to be causing an update. Now, this is a very high poly mesh that's not baked down whatsoever. Ooh, feeling a little green. Actually, speaking of green, does anyone know what the green liquid in Arcane is? I know it's Chemtech, but I'm not sure if it actually has a name beyond that. The stuff that, like, there is Shimmer, which is used in Savika's arm in the first round. Then the second round, it's the green, yellow and green stuff. Well, no, the yellow's the lights. And then, there's another type of arm slash liquid that's being used to power the arms, and I forget what that is. Like, this is cool because it seemed like, you know, something is powering the arm from the inside. But this is actually slow. I did not expect AO to be that slow. We can set to be 0.75. Yeah, no, this is much slower than it should be. Maybe I'll need to use Eevee Next to preview some of this. Even though I kind of, yeah, no, it doesn't look anywhere near the same. Which, AO and Eevee Legacy Next has been just fine in my experience. With Eevee Next, my main critique slash the thing that annoys me the most is the lighting and the denoising, because it is very blurry, and I am not... It's muddy and blurry, and I'm not a fan of that. It will improve, but it seems like Eevee Next is going through a lot of under-the-hood changes and fixes at the moment. Like that, it looks cool. Let's change this back to Filmic instead of AGX. Because I do still like some... Oh! Wait, what? Why did it all of a sudden turn very accurate? Ah, well. I could use my LG light falloff to make the gradients look better. So I set this to 1 and then use LG, my logarithmic light falloff, which I should probably upgrade, as I have been using it for years on professional and personal projects, and I really should actually make it mathematically accurate to something in the universe, because right now I was just like, oh, what makes nice crisp gradients? I was like, well, if it works, it works. Like, see that? It does, well, it does look quite good. It, yeah. What looks the best? Ooh, that, loving it. Now, I wasn't envisioning the arm to be some infernal machine, but looks cool. So who am I to disagree? Who am I to disagree? I wonder what song that is. But yeah, that. It's looking nice. Because it really shows the internal... Ooh! That's some nice stuff right there. Shows all the internal parts. But yeah, you know, hand painting, you should hand paint everything, which I wish I could show that off very well, which maybe I can. Let me go and save this in its current state. Then let's go to the texture paint mode. As we can... Oh, that is funny. That's funny. We get 2 shelves right here. I think we'll only need 1. And that 1 we will have here, because we'll need to we'll use less space. So here, let's turn on names and how big shelf is. So here we can see that the parts are very similar to... The brushes are very similar to what was there before. Let's set this to be 2048. No alpha. Color will be not black, but a nice gray. Oh, no, I should have made this 4K. Because this UV map was made for the entire body. And, yeah, it's not using all of it. So we'll need to 4K. I wonder if texture painting will be getting a speed increase. Oh, and there's also, what is it? Q Paint, which, or UQ Paint, which I downloaded. Wait, where texture? Come on, buddy. Texture slots, single image. Let's go to Untitled. There we go. So now we can go through here and actually do all the stuff. So here, what should we do? Airbrush, paint, hard. Yeah, let's go and do a bit of that. So here, ooh, a little laggy. Maybe that's because it's updating there whenever I go off of this. Yeah, I think so. So let's go and use the new docking mechanism to make sure both of these are the same. Ooh, there's still a bit of lag. Maybe it's because it's multi-res plus all this. But let's just go and do a little bit. Yeah, you can tell I'm not used to painting models. Let's just go and do that. Some basic masking, and I think I'm probably masking out the wrong area. Here, let's get the asset shelf back. Make it a tad bigger and keep their names available. I need to turn that on by default. Very rough right there, and then over here. Oh no, wait, was that the right thing? I do not know. And ideally, if I were to make this procedural, this would just be a black and white mask. Yo, did you work on the new Sonic? Maybe. Let's see, that's awesome for edge masks. Yep, pointiness and all that. I wonder, does this also have the, No, it does not have that. Okay. Yeah, maybe texture painting will get an update, because it seems like, I'm assuming the speed ups that are being made will help with this as well. Yeah, maybe this is like the brass. Like a black and white mask or an RGB mask, parts for like, oh, this part is this material or this material. You know. Yeah, you know, I'm not going to keep this. It's just for demonstration purposes and for practice. So since there is still a little bit of lag when it boots up, you know, since this is a 6 million poly model, that is not applied, so it may be procedurally calculating some stuff and yada yada. Normally, well no, the vertex colors we could do in sculpt mode and that would be extremely fast, but since this is multi-res, we can't take advantage. Yeah, let me just color that in, why not? Yeah. Alright, what else was I going to do? I think this is pretty much everything, so I will wrap up the stream very, very soon. So yeah, and my voice is going a little bit. I can feel it. Just do a little bit of this. Like, texturing would happen after retopology, but this model is already topologized. Extremely poorly, but it is. It was meant to be just a regular hand. Regular base mesh. Like, nope, you will be something much more. A heavily distorted version of what you once were. Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, you know, all this will need to be refined, but I don't plan on texturing this model. I say that as I keep texturing this model. Wait, why am I filling in all those parts? I should be doing the highlights. Like there, and then and there. Again, this is 6 million polygons, 6.5. So maybe paint the nails. I actually don't know which part of this object is the actual nail. I didn't think that far in the design. Did not think that far in the design. Like that. Or maybe just the fingertips. It doesn't really have nails. There we go. Nice. And the design is different, so oh well. Per finger. Then over here, I want to make these parts pop. Ooh, this is getting messy. Again, the topology is messy, so all that will be messy. And excuses, but they're well. Yeah, maybe a light gray. And then let me switch this out for black. Let's go and put this part back here. There we go. That is more of what I was envisioning. A little bit more. Oh, and it's not supposed to be black. It's supposed to be very, very dark gray. Oh well. Let's also look at this in different, oh wait, matte cap. And that. So here we can see the very wonderful mask I made. Let's go, let's go and see this. You know, it looks so much better like this. In terms of other parts, that should be wood or brass or whatever I choose in the future. This part should be. Yeah, I really need to figure out how sculptors make, because masks are used very often in sculpting. How do they make the masks good? Good enough to actually be used again and again. Like, there's face sets, but I don't think. Yeah, we'll see. I have a lot to learn. There we go. Something incredibly basic, but just want to get some general stuff. So yeah, we'll wrap up. Oh, we're past 2 hours. Yeah, no, you can tell I'm enjoying this because we've gone past 2 hours. But I should really wrap this up. I do have to do some things and, you know, get ready to go. Well, it's only 8:30. Daylight savings time, and, you know, in the winter, the sun goes down at like 4:30, and I am not happy about that. Because who wants to go out and do stuff at pitch black nights? Not many people. Well, I do like living as a vampire. Not all the time. I like the sun. Lovely, absolutely lovely masks right here. I see nothing wrong with this whatsoever. Again, I want to see this on actual shading, so hopefully it will cover a multitude of sins. Like, I wonder if there's a way, maybe probably with the Sculpt paint, to make it so that it won't do that annoying kind of raycast look. Here, oh wait, that's not supposed to go all the way down there. Oh well, maybe it is. Okay. You know what, that is, let me just try to make it a little bit better. Just a tad. And I could also paint in this area, might look good. And of course, I just painted over that part, which I can just undo with a bit of this and a bit of that. Okay, that is fair enough. Now maybe I'll put some light gray in between those parts of the fingers and all that, but that is for, and then right there, that's probably for another I'm so tempted to do it right now, but I will, yeah, we'll save that. Let's take a look at shading and actually use, oh, that looks so good! Fire. Let's actually copy this material. And we will go. You can see I have a Houdini folder and an Overwatch. I've not played Overwatch in years. Huh. Interesting. Let's go and get the image texture. Let's go and switch that to be Mr. Untitled over there. Alright, if you have any last questions, please ask them now. Before I go. There we go. Let's close up that and take a look at this in the rendered view. Metallic parts are going to look extremely... not what I was hoping for. Looks rather rough. But we can use a greater than as a mask to hopefully make it look not as bad. Save the texture? No. Have you seen this? I'm not saving that. It's not worth saving. Mix. Then maybe we can make this look good. Just maybe. And then maybe red. It's not looking good. Not looking good. Looks absolutely dreadful. Yeah, so it looks like I need to take some model painting. Actually, that actually doesn't look bad. It's subtle enough where you can't see the glaring errors. And then, yeah, okay, so what I should have done is painted masks and then choose the colors in post. Music's getting very, very loud again. Let me lower that. Music is so loud that it's at level 3 right now. Will you join my pickleball team? That is a very unique question. Unfortunately, I will have to decline, Benadryl. I will have to decline, unfortunately. Pickleball does sound... Actually, what is pickleball? I've heard of it many times, so I've never actually checked it. You know what? That's not looking... It's not looking like what I envisioned. But it's not looking horrible. It needs more colors. It needs more masks. Understandable, but offer stains. Thank you. I will keep that in mind if I ever decide to play pickleball. Vertex painting makes good masks, but not for multi-res. Yeah. Let's see. Yuku paint. Yeah, I should. I need to... I used that a little while, like, I don't know, probably a month or two ago. I was like, dang, this feels very, very nice. So maybe that can help make this look good. Nails are looking very fancy. But it feels like it needs, like, these parts need to be red as well to match. And then all that. So yeah, it's fine. It's not great, but it's not terrible. This. And then, like, textures. I do have some nice, like, etched metal. Or etched metal. That looks... Yeah, that's just showing the terrible painting job. In high res. Yeah, can't say I'm, too proud of that. When you make it dark enough, it almost fully matches. Ooh, actually, wait. That's actually looking good. It's not quite popping, but it is looking good. And now we can just plug in the emission, make it look supercharged. Ah, so it is the AO that is, hurting everything. Probably causing a multi-res recalculation or something like that. Now that... There's something's making a buzzing noise, and I need to make sure that's not my PC. I'm pretty sure it's not my PC, which means I will need to look into that. Yeah, that's looking very nice and charged. Fire it up. Every time you recalculate, something has to go again. What music was that before this one? Right now, this is the Relaxing Zelda Music playlist, which I forgot where I got that from. Somewhere on YouTube. And it has, like, quite a few songs inside of it. But it is Zelda music. Okay, let's take a look at this. That does look good. I could bake it. It actually looks... This is looking amazing. Like, I'm still not happy about that, but if I bake this out as maps and then put it onto the original mesh, because the UV map's the same, I could use that for some stuff. And we can try out different colors, and it's like, ooh, cold as ice. Yeah, that's looking cool. Why? That just makes it look like, you know, you get sent to heaven if you touch that. Like, oh, that's good. And then with bloom, it probably looks amazing, which I'm still a little bit annoyed that bloom does not look good. Well, the default bloom... I'm sorry, not bloom, glare. The glare node, you need to go glare, bloom, and then you need to set this to like -0.9 in order to get something that looks somewhat like the one-click solution in Legacy. But this means that, whoops, let's go back to GeoNodes. This means that we do get the, you know, the stuff also in cycles, so it is, you know, parity. Can't argue with that. I just wish we had a dedicated bloom node with the default settings, the good default settings. A lie. Yep, you touch that and you're getting sent straight to heaven. Very nice. Very good. So yeah, I would bake out the AO. Actually, Qpaint has good baking, doesn't it? It sounds like there's like a leaf blower outside. Oh wait, maybe they're doing. Oh, I know what's going on out there. They're working on the road. Working on roads. That explains that. Half-Life 2 particle disintegration effect. Half-Life 2 is now $1 on Steam. I've never played it, and maybe I should. Yeah, in terms of the design, like, I need to make another wavy metallic line there, and then, yeah, this part's too plain. This part needs work. A lot of parts need work. Then here, I think maybe make a kind of U shape right there. But yeah, it needs a lot of work. But just looking at the mesh itself, I am quite happy with that. I'm not all too happy with that very shoddy texture paint. Syllables are getting messed up. It's getting late. Okay, I'll leave you all with this. It's looking very nice. So I am fairly happy with all of this. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let's go back to the Sculpt tab so that we can see it with all of this. You know, for a 2-hour addition to the Sculpt, I would say not bad. Again, the design is still fairly lacking. Like, there's no direction whatsoever. That part needs... Okay, no, I am fixing this now. This part needs work. So we are just going to do a bit of that. A little bit strong. We're going to add in some stuff right here. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. And then there, I could do like a part going into there. Maybe two. Maybe tubes, actually. But we can see, you can see my vision. That's what matters. Art is the process of transferring a vision from one person to another. Why is that? Wait, what? Why did that get so huge all of a sudden? Yeah, maybe... It's feeling slightly better. Just needs to be enough. Go to there, and then there needs some work. Yeah, no, that will work out. It just needs flattening. It just needs some help. And that part can merge into there. Oh yeah, that's feeling better. Much better. And then I need to flatten that out. I am delaying the end of the stream once again. I need to work on this off stream. And then I'll work on it till midnight. Yeah, no, I can't do that. I got stuff to do. Anyway, thank you all for coming along for this little ride, this little exploration, this little chill viewing experience. I hope it was enjoyable. Feels like something's wrong with the brushes now. Maybe I just cooked it. So there, that part's like that. This part desperately needs... You know what, let's... Delaying the stream and once... Nope. Once again, let's go and do that, and then... Go and just put a little bit more, like a slight bit of detail in it. Not much. Just enough to say, hey, something else is happening here. I need to redo that entire part. Anyway, just a little something, because this part, I want to make it not annoying for me to look at. There we go. At the very... That's still bad. That's still bad. This part, I need to put that kind of U shape, or I need to make it snake into everything else, which could look cool. That part's looking good. Yeah, why did that glitch out to be super big? Okay. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. And let me read everything else. Let's see. Have you tested the Gabor texture yet? Trying to find a use for it since it came out and wasn't sure if you tested it already. I tested it a little while ago. It could be useful for like threads, for knitted threads. If you layer two on top of each other, it's useful for like kind of sand dune like textures. It is, I think it's a very good addition. But I think its uses are not quite as wide as like a noise or a Voronoi. But it can be useful for stuff. But I will need to play around with it more. Let's see. You can also make a cool crosshatch like rough cloths. Yes, yes, yes. Alright, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Have a good one.